out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have. That was kind of a weak spin because I didn't have that much, but it's called Rock and Roll High School. Well, you don't care about history, you better reconsider. This 43-year movie is basically a homage, not a homage, but it's a Ramones movie. Am I a fan of the Ramones? I like their music, but does this movie work? Let's find out. Chase Leaki here with the Blue Futon reviewing Rock and Roll High School. What's about? Pretty simple premise. You have a high school, and it's the Rock and Roll High School. They love high school. No, they don't love high school. They love rock and roll. However, there's a new principal that's going to whip them all in shape because you know what? It's a lot of shenanigans going down, but the Ramones are coming to town, and you know what? This girl is in love with Johnny, and they're going to figure out how to get the Ramones to the high school and just have shenanigans galore. So, it's like this film. It was a fun movie. What do you want me to say? I like the Ramones. Yes, this is a 100% Ramone movie. What do I mean by that? This is focused on them. We have concert footage of them. This focuses on the band. This is kind of like the Beatles movie, I think The Hardest Day Night. I think that's directed by Linklater, if I'm not mistaken. No, it can't be Linklater. Anyway, it's basically a band movie like that. But I would say the best way to describe this is Animal House with a band rated PG. Yes, people are thinking, would this be PG nowadays? Nah, this would be about a PG-13. This is not R-rated. There's no nudity. There'd be drugs in this movie. There's not really any language in this movie either. But oh yeah, there's some sexual humor, and that is why it would be rated PG-13 because of the sexual humor. But this movie moves a mile a minute. As you can tell from the just the whole cover, this is totally 80s. As you can tell, you have like girls, you have the Ramones, you have a rat, which, okay, the rat gag is freaking hysterical. The whole point of a rat gag is they're saying the Ramones make rats like go crazy and grow and just blow up. And oh my god, that makes no sense. You're probably thinking, what are you talking about? But it works, and it's freaking hysterical. And I did watch some of the special features for this film, and it is only about an hour and 33-minute movie. And they did say they took a lot of the script out because when the Ramones were on camera, they didn't really know their lines. They felt awkward or shy. And you can completely tell when they are on camera and they're not singing, you can tell they're uncomfortable. You can tell that they kind of want to be there. They're getting paid. They like to like promote their music, if you want to put it that way. But when they were actually doing the singing and playing, it was a light switch. It was something very different about them. But when they had to speak normal dialogue, it just wasn't going to come out at all. And that's fine. Some people aren't actors. Some people just want to play music. I think this is the same way. Of course, you have some people nowadays like they're retaliators. You have Jacoby Shaddix. You have Five Finger Death Punch. You have Spencer from Ice Nine Kills, and they're doing pretty good in movies. But the Ramones, yeah, I can see why they probably weren't in a lot of movies because they just don't act all that well in this movie. But like this movie is all over the place. You have a lot of characters, a lot of dancing. And you can say, yes, it's a little bit cheesy because it is a 1979 movie, or when was this released? I think 79 is correct. Yeah, it was released in 1979. So it was like about to be in the 80s, and this is where punk rock. The Ramones weren't that big when they first came out, but when you say a cult following occurred, this is their cult following, kind of like the Sex Pistols, and it was that time age of just awesome rock and roll and punk. You can say, oh yeah, what about the punk now of like Green Day and Blink-182? Green Day has gone down this fucking rabbit hole where I just can't stand Green Day anymore. Like, yes, American Idiot might be a iconic album, which came out in like 2004, 2005, but everything after that, let's be honest, was freaking trash. And just now they have a new one called the American Dream. It's like, yo, I know you're a political band, but it's like, yo, like the lead singer literally has no rhyme or reason to even judge people. But yes, if I could get some negatives for this film, it is sporadic. It is all over the place. Some of the humor doesn't work, but when the humor does work, I think it really is funny. A lot of the sexual humor is funny, and I think a lot of people nowadays will be like, oh, how dare you think that's funny? Cancel culture, it's just so offensive. It's like, nah, it's not offensive. You just need to know what the real world is like. Oh, and there's also a gag. Oh, why did I forget about it? But there's a gag about why the principal had to go away. That was also hysterical. I was thinking, what are we doing? Like, this is a sporadic, jumping all over the place movie, and some movies really need it, and this movie does do it. But yes, some of it doesn't work, and I think the Ramones, even though I like their music, I thought whenever they're playing in the band and doing the concert scenes was fantastic, but when they're kind of having to be actors, it just didn't work. So Rock and Roll High School will receive a 4 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 80%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So the critics at 81% with 27 of them. Audience score 75% with over 10,000. No critic consensus. And so yes, if you're asking if you hate musicals, will you like this film? Here's the thing. It's not a musical. I would call it more of a concert film. So if you want actors singing, this really isn't it. This is the Ramones singing, period, dot, end of subject. Oh, there's one scene where they like fell on top of each other and they like roll into the wall. Okay, it's just a bombastic, fun freaking movie. Anyway, 75, 80, 81. Chase Hockey here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Futontopia. You Blue Futons, you want a great day. And I don't care what you say tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. And were you in a rock and roll high school? What did you listen to growing up? Me, easy. My Chemical Romance, Used, Papa Roach, Bullet, Seven Dust. That was my first concert was Seven Dust and Nope or Dope. Those were two of my, and then also my big one was like Blue October, Papa Roach, The Killers, My Chemical Romance, Bullet for My Valentine. It was one of those huge concert venues, and it was a freaking blast.